Honored to be joined by Congressman John Shimkus from the 15th District in Illinois, who, Congressman, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a member of the team, but you weren't there this morning, correct?
I skipped practice, and
Oh.
as an old coach, I probably should be lambasted. But I was there yesterday, and I pitched, so my body can only take so much practice.
Understood.
So,
well,
I did not go out this morning. Obviously, Steve did. He's my roommate. Kevin Brady did, but he came in early before the shooting. And the more I talk about this, the more depressed I get.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and obviously with Congressman Scalise. My understanding is you've been at the hospital. Is that correct? Where he's being treated?
Yes, I went out. The three roommates, Kevin Brady, Eric Paulson, and myself, drove up there and he's at like MedStar in the Northwest D.C. area. So we were up there, mostly talking to some of his security folks and his personal staff, who we know real well.
This has got to sort of shake Washington to its foundations because, you guys are out and about in public all the time. I mean, this is just not something that you can't hide. I mean, this is disturbing on many levels.
Well, I think we're grown-ups. We're politicians. We understand about debate and differences in opinion, but the polarization that has pushed some of our citizens so far left and so far right, just this is Americans' pastime. This is what you would think people would want to see us doing, playing together, having fun, raising money for charity. This is all what we were doing out there. What we're doing out there, and what we'll do tomorrow night is Mom Apple Pie Chevrolet. It's all things good, and then for it to be really crashed by obviously a disgruntled citizen of some sort is really sad, and really the damage, the physical damage, not only to Steve but to congressional staffers, to a volunteer who was out there who have some serious injuries.
Congressman Shimkus, Annie Fry here. I'm very happy to hear that you were okay. I'm curious. I know that I've heard lots of people say that the baseball game tomorrow should go on. You should get back to business as usual. I'm curious how this affects the business, on the Hill. How do you manage to do both the due diligence to the event for the humans involved in this, but also continue to stay the course, because there's a lot of important things that are going on right now. I think both of them are important. How do you manage that?
Well, it's just like any other line of work, like first responders, police officers, firefighters, or military. You honor those who have made sacrifices by finishing the job. You just keep going. So one of my first comments was to the team manager, says, we got to play this game. I mean, you dishonor and you embolden those who would try to disrupt normal society by canceling things. So that's how I go. That's how I work through it.
Congressman, I don't know if anything about this could be a bigger shock than the actual event itself, but how discouraging or distressing was it to you to find out it was from somebody from Southern Illinois?
Yeah, well, it's disappointing. It's distraughting. I mean, but I immediately went back to, I think his name was Brad Weston, who was from Southern Illinois and killed two police officers trying to get into the Capitol building years ago. So I'm a Christian by faith. I don't make any apologize for that. I believe in original sin, and this is the result of original sin. That we live in an imperfect world, and it strikes.
Sure. How is Congressman Scalise? Because I heard he was out of surgery, but then the AP is reporting that he's listed in critical condition. Can you give us an update?
I didn't get. It's kind of. The federal government, we pass laws on the hospitals,
right,
to make sure they don't give information to people who they shouldn't be giving information to. And so the roommates really don't meet that standard of full disclosure of what's going on. In fact, I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to hang around, because I think maybe our presence was inhibiting the information to the primary staff. And I know Jennifer is on her way there. That's Steve's wife.
Right.
I think it's more serious than first reported.
Okay. All right. Well, just know that our thoughts are with you, and I certainly appreciate you giving us some time because of everything that's been going on up there today. And but maybe we can check back in with you on this. And good luck in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be. I think the event. I ran into one of my Democrat friends who plays, and he's as far left as I am far right, but we're very good friends, and that's the untold story. That it's just hard to break through that. And we both know we need to play the game, and it's got to be a special event.
Right.
I think it'll be a much more somber. There's usually a lot of cat calling and name calling and partisan banter that goes on. I think it'll be a little more subdued tomorrow night.
I bet it will.
Congressman, is there still money being raised for this event tomorrow? Is there still a way that people can contribute to support what you're doing?
Yeah, sheesh, I don't know. I mean, it's online. I think people can Google congressionalbaseball.com. The money goes to different charities kind of every year, but there are two big ones, the Washington, D.C. Literacy, and also really we're associated with the Washington Nationals and their philanthropic arm, and they have a STEM program and developmental fields in one of the poorest sections of Washington, D.C. So they can look that up, and if they so desire, they could, they might very well be able to.
Congressman, thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Congressman John Shimkus, 15th Congressional District over in Illinois. That guy, I know he didn't want to talk about it too much, but that's something that's tough to wrap your mind around. You walk. I think anytime you become a victim of something like that, your world shrinks a little bit, right? You don't walk out the door with the same kind of confidence you had before. And we've certainly had congressmen attacked in the past, but in this particular case, to go to a charity event where you're out practicing baseball at 6:30 in the morning, that sets you back on your heels.
It's a huge slap in the face of perspective. And anytime anything like this happens, you are quickly reminded that these are real people doing, living real lives that happen to serve as a representative of somebody in some district. So you have this polarization that is out there in the media, and with protests that you see. We have all of these ancillary things that are starting to define people based on political affiliation. But then you have something like this happen, and there's a picture that was put out there on social media of the Democrats who were practicing at a different field, and they were joined together in prayer. So you have a